There is a certain kind of person who carries a strange, silent burden. They walk into a crowded room, and almost instantly, they feel that something is deeply off. No one is raising their voice. There is no visible drama, but their brain has already finished scanning every single individual. They catch the avoided glance, the forced smile, the sentence that sounds normal but is completely full of hidden, fake energy. Many people look at this sharp observation and call it a superpower. They think it is a wonderful gift of high intuition. But let us be brutally honest from the very first second. This sharp awareness is not a gift. It is a psychological trap, a dangerous cognitive parasite that rots your executive focus from the inside out. The problem is that your brain has no off switch. You cannot just enjoy the present moment. You take the micro-expressions of random people home. You pick them apart. You analyze them, and you replay them in your head again and again. You turn one small, meaningless silence into an entire universe of exhausting thoughts. You bleed out your strategic energy because your mind refuses to stop running. Now, you might ask yourself, but is it not a good thing to be highly aware? Does this sensitivity not protect me from betrayal? Does it not mean I have a superior emotional intelligence? That is the grand illusion that keeps you fragile. You believe that analyzing everything gives you control. But in reality, your hyper-awareness is a loud confession that your environment is still dictating your internal state. You are letting the hidden insecurities of small minds penetrate your psychological fortress. You are turning your brain into an emotional dustbin for everyone else's unexpressed toxic waste. Let us decode the raw science behind this pathology. Empirical psychology proves that for many elites, this over-awareness is an inheritance of survival, a state known as hypervigilance. It often takes root in an emotionally unstable childhood. You learn to become a radar station. You memorized the sound of car tires rolling into the garage just to predict a parent's mood. You measured the anger of an adult by the sound of a closing kitchen cabinet. Biologically speaking, your amygdala, the brain's danger alarm, was constantly activated. It recorded a brutal message that your environment was not safe, and you had to keep scanning to avoid destruction. Your nervous system automatically built a massive network of neurons to predict emotional disasters before they happened. But you are no longer that helpless child. You are an adult, a leader, a high performer. Yet, the shield that once protected you has now fused into your skin, turning your mind into a hyperactive prison. Consider the clearest sign of this cognitive bleeding: living in constant analysis mode. Your boss sends a brief message on Slack at 4 p.m., stating, "Come see me for a minute later." For an ordinary person, that is simply a meeting. But for your loud mind, a wave of intense tension immediately appears. You sense an invisible coldness in the wording. You immediately activate the default mode network, the brain system involved in self-referential reflection. While other people use this system to rest, your overactive network forces you to run a hidden mental marathon. Interpreting the 3-second pause before a compliment or a slight change in a colleague's breathing. But wait, you might argue, if I do not analyze these signals, I will be blindsided by corporate warfare. I must know what people are thinking to protect my assets. Let us break that cowardice down with cold reason. When a dog barks at you in the street, do you drop to your knees and bark back? When a stone is hard, do you scream at it for refusing to be soft? Of course not. You accept their biological nature and move past them. Why then do you expect foolish, broken, and insecure people to act with perfect wisdom and transparency? To be shocked by malice or fake energy is a profound failure of your own intelligence. By analyzing their hidden motives, you are validating their significance. You are making their smallness the center of your universe. A sovereign mind does not decode small people. It renders them completely obsolete through freezing indifference. This hyperactive camera does not just point outward, it turns inward, creating a toxic hyper-self-awareness. Your metacognition, controlled by the prefrontal cortex, becomes a switch that never turns off. You do not just experience an emotion, you monitor it, judge it, and condemn it. You feel a sudden wave of emptiness on a sunny afternoon, and instead of letting it pass, you cross your arms and demand an explanation. Why am I sad? I have a lucrative career. I have no reason to feel this way. I am terrible for being ungrateful. You are dancing while constantly staring at your reflection in a broken mirror. You may not miss a single step, but you have lost the sense of flow. Your natural presence disappears, replaced by an endless, exhausting trial where you are both the criminal and the judge. This leads to the total loss of innocence in your relationships. You begin to see the ugly backstage of human behavior. You see a coworker bring you a coffee and praise your latest project, and your brain instantly scans for motives. What favor do they want? Are they hoping I will share data with them? A compliment always seems to carry hidden layers. An apology never feels complete, and a promise sounds incredibly fragile. You do not become bitter, but you become deeply cautious, isolated inside a crowded room because no one else sees the layer of truth you are seeing. But let us look at the ultimate trap: emotional empathy that is always switched on. Your mirror neurons are firing non-stop. Someone sitting next to you on the train taps their foot with nervous energy, and suddenly your own heart starts beating faster. A friend talks about their divorce, and after they go home, that pain sits in your chest for 3 days. You have turned your mind into a sheet of absorbent paper, soaking up the emotional radiation of a bankrupt world. You become the emotional regulator for everyone around you, choosing careful words to calm the room, while your own insulation is completely worn out. To transform this fragile, over-analytical target into an untouchable superpower, you must implement the binary 3-step cognitive quarantine starting tonight. Step 1. Enforce the reasoning gap. The exact moment you detect a hidden energy or an avoided glance, halt the processing engine. Do not let the default mode network start its interpretation script. Insert a cold, calculated wedge between the stimulus and your brain. Tell yourself, this person is exhibiting a behavioral data point, and it has zero correlation with my internal work. Deal only with cold, unvarnished matter. Step 2. Terminate the absorption loop. When you feel your heart beating faster because of someone else's chaos, execute a physical interception. Recognize that this physical surge belongs to your body's sensitive nervous system, processed by the insular cortex. But it does not belong to your consciousness. Say to the sensation, "You are just an unverified physical report. You have no passport to enter my strategic focus." Observe the heartbeat as a temporary weather pattern and refuse to provide it with the oxygen of your speech. Lock your jaw and let the fire starve to death inside the vacuum of your silence. Step 3. Pivot to the verdict principle. Stop trying to predict every single landing point of disappointment in advance. Understanding is not your armor, execution is. Abandon all simulations of the future. When people probe into your life or try to test your boundaries, respond with absolute, boring neutrality. Give them zero data to process. Let your silent, massive results be the only verdict the world hears. True peace is not the absence of the storm. True peace is the freezing, unwavering clarity inside the very center of it. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius did not pray for a simpler world or fewer complications. He demanded absolute command over his own mind. You cannot turn off the light of your awareness, but you can change its intensity. Turn it from a sharp, self-destructive laser that exposes every flaw into a cold, protective shield. Stop carrying every single equation of the world on your shoulders at the same time. You are a logos mindset. Turn off the noise, enforce the code, and reclaim your supreme sovereignty.